Okay, guys, we are live! So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly friendly supply clerk today, because today we are carrying on with our ongoing campaign, the Spires of Paridar campaign, but today we're getting very close to either potentially wrapping up or we would have wrapped up the Patchwork Pauper mystery. And unfortunately, Darren is fortunately, Darren is on vacation, but unfortunately, it means he cannot join us today, which means that his character, who that mystery largely focused around, or his character's backstory at least, is not able to attend. So rather than finish up that campaign without him, or write the session off for not being able to play, we are using the opportunity to indulge in our first war story of this campaign. Regular viewers of the channel will know that one of the things I like to do in some of these ongoing campaigns is take the opportunity sometimes to use other games, sometimes other systems, or other times to explore other parts of the story with the players. And today's story is, I don't think I can call it the session, or I haven't called the session Your Chums Are Fighting, but I might. In any event, this is the first of our war stories where we will be looking at a piece of history for one of our heroes illuminators in the regular Spires of Paridar campaign, and the other players are playing other characters. Whether we will be meeting these characters later on, I guess, largely depends on whether they survive today's session. But let's not waste any further time. Let's do some introductions here. So guys, I know you guys have the very, very long, let's say 10 minutes with these characters now, so I'm sure you've fully fleshed out their backstories, but I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing today? First up, we've got James.
All right, so I'm James, and I'm Lieutenant Lillian Kemper.
Nice.
A elven mage officer.
Very nice. Next up is Sean.
Sergeant Benton Barkley, who is the trusty, experienced sergeant, whose main job is to keep the lieutenant on the path while pretending all the ideas are hers.
Good stuff. It was funny when I was filling out the sheets. I'm like, wow, Kemper's quite smart. Wrathbone's quite smart. Technically, Sergeant Bartley is the smartest among you, at least with the highest smarts dice. And certainly not
with dwarven. What word am I looking for? Curmudgeonness.
Nice.
Sorry, go ahead.
And last, but certainly not least, is Ingolf.
Hi, yeah, I'm Ingolf. I'm playing the younger version of Basil Wrathbone, who's now a private. So basically, he's the one who has to do all the dirty work,
yes,
I suppose, in this company.
So one of the things I like best about Savage Worlds, and for those listening at home, we are going to be playing primarily the Savage Pathfinder version of this, because we have been, our main campaign is based in Pathfinder 2nd edition, but I've taken some stuff from a bunch of supplements for this, so to try and make for a engaging session. So guys, what I was going to say is, one of the things I do like about Savage Worlds is, because of the great little sub mechanics and whatnot, we can really gamify different parts of the backstory, or the session and the story, in ways that sometimes is more challenging, or it would take more time in other games. So we're going to dive right in and then figure out how we got to there in a moment. The first thing I need to do is to queue up a little audio cue. Come on, you. There we go. All right. That I think will give you some sense of where we are. And I timed it perfectly with the crest and the music. All right. So the first thing we hear is the sound of wind and darkness. And since the one player character we have in here is Private Wrathbone, or from the main campaign at least, we'll start with him. You're in utter blackness. Oh, and you think you're hurt. And you hear a voice. And Sean, why don't you tell us what is Sergeant Bartley's voice sound like as he finds Wrathbone? He's surprised to find him. You think you have another survivor?
I think that so it sounds like we've been through a crisis, and so Bartley is he's trying to keep things together for everybody. So he's he's trying to mix a little gruffness and authority, keeping things together with chewing gum and saliva, and with a touch of humor mixed in, gallows humor usually, where needed.
Yeah.
And so he's like, oh, finally, Wrathbone, wandering off again, are you?
Well, the thing is, let me give you context.
Yeah.
A little more insight into this so you can fill in, because
Sure.
you do not know, none of you know each other before today's session.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah.
this is where you found him.
Okay. But I am aware that there's been a crisis of some kind, that
Well, you were all traveling on this train, bound for the front. You've pushed in at this stage in the war. You have pushed into the enemy's homeland, and have taken over their rail lines. Or at least that was what you thought. Sergeant Bartley, you have been searching through the ruins of this train with one of the other survivors, desperate in your attempt to find anybody else who may be able to help you. You are well behind enemy lines at this point, it seems. The train was destroyed, a bridge blown, and you finally have found some other survivor. It looks like a little Yasaki or rat folk private.
we're in uniform.
In uniform, yeah. Each of you are in your distinct uniforms. Again, no three of you, or none of you, know each other from before this. And Wrathbone, as you open your eyes, you're in the midst of a crunched and destroyed, what do you call it? Transport. This is where all the troops would have been sitting. Somehow you got thrown up and out of the way. So as all those, chairs and whatnot all crumpled together, killing all of your comrades, you somehow survived this. And Sergeant Bartley has administered a dose of his, what do we call it? The rejuvenation serum? Or biojuvenation serum?
I forget.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of sputter and wake up. Bartley, the only other person you found alive in here has been this elven officer. And that's who you're speaking to when you say, I found one. Lieutenant Kemper, all of your troops are dead. And it was only Bartley who stumbled across you, helped you with some of his strange science to get yourself functioning again. And where you find yourself is, unlike the illustration, this is nighttime. It is dark. There was some kind of sabotage that caused this entire troop train carrying gear and troops and other things down into the side of a ravine that the bridge was crossing. Snow is coming on, and you can hear the baying of hounds approaching. What the enemy uses to hunt your troops.
Yeah. I think Basil just tries to stand up and or not even stand up, just crawl away. I mean, why waste time standing up?
Yeah. So you crawl out, and what you guys find as you pull yourself out of as you yourself, Private Wrathbone, pull yourself out, you can see Sergeant Bartley is there, kind of helping you out. And just near him is Lieutenant Kemper, or a tall elven woman in a officer's uniform, who seems to be kind of studying the horizon. Now, if you guys feel there's anything you think you would have done before you do this, I'm not sure if you would have activated any of your spells. The duration of a lot of your spells are fairly short, so I'll leave it to you to decide. But how do you guys all react to this situation? I think Private Wrathbone, you're still in a bit of shock as to what has happened and who these people are.
I think just first the survival instinct to crawl out, and now the second survival instinct just to salute before the officer, not to get shot by someone who is blaming the private.
Yeah. Okay.
That'll come. Well,
Oh, yes.
Private, good thing you crawled into that cocktail cart. Saved your life, maybe. He's just bullshitting and, trying to get you back around and focus, I was about to say focus man. Focus, rat.
He's a man.
Fall in.
Man is a gender, not an ancestry.
Okay.
Fair enough. Okay. I was floating around there. Sergeant Bartley was floating. Fair enough. Fall in. We're looking for survivors, and we're going to need to escape and evade very quickly. So, get your wits about you.
Okay, so you
Find your weapon. Find your weapon.
Sergeant Benton, you being the kind of the closest thing to a supply clerk here. I mean, there's a boot or what do you call it? A buck private or a boot private? I don't know. Whatever the phrase is for a private. There's a grunt you've got here, and there's an officer you've got here. And the officer, because of the markings on her lapel, you can tell that she is part of the magical corps. So obviously, Paridar is a world of magic as well as scientific progress. She is part of the a squatty. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Look, what would be the British terminology for this? You're going to be the one who turns your mind towards stuff, because right now, where you find yourself is looking through the ruin or the wreckage of the train. At a glance, you don't see any way of picking up your stuff and carrying yourself back. So at least there's a 2-day journey to get to the nearest settlement, but that is an enemy settlement, and if they have sabotaged this may be part of a counteroffensive, and they may be retaking their land. To get back to what was your border, we're talking a week. A week across unforgiving winter terrain. So with that in mind, what we're going to do is we're actually going to take advantage of the journeys rules out of the Savage Rifts Tomorrow Legion. It's a nice way of abstracting supplies, but making them count for the game. The things that you can, the supplies that you can carry are actually it's supplies rules, not the journeys rules. Supplies for ammunition, because you need that. Supplies for food, supplies for fuel and spare parts, and supplies for water. Now you guys can pick these things up. We're abstracting these as a different size of dice. Right now you have 0 in any of them. What you can do is spend a phase trying to scrounge on the train and grab stuff using different skills. Every success gives you a 1 dice of a certain supply. A raise will give you an extra dice, and then we're also drawing cards. If you draw a face card, you may find something particularly useful, like a vehicle, or perhaps surviving mounts, or something else of that kind. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then, what, let me see here. What you have right now, as I said, 0 in ammo, food, fuel, spare parts, and water. Now, fuel and spare parts you don't need unless you go looking for a tank. As I mentioned before we went live, Sergeant Bartley is a tanky, and I don't want to get your hopes up here, but this is what should be sitting somewhere in the wreckage there. And again, I got a typo in there.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Now,
that was on the train, huh?
The downside to that is obviously that will move slow. It's going to move slow. It potentially could break down and whatnot. You might find that you would move on foot at the same pace as that thing, but that thing will offer more protection, obviously. And this is going to be a very... We're going to be randomly generating some stuff. We'll see what you find on the train as we go. Bartley, that's what you have in mind. Is that right now, if you leave, you have no food, no water, no ammunition. What are you guys thinking?
But it's snowy, right?
It's snowing as well, yeah.
Then we can get some water from that. So
you can, as long as you can get fire.
Yep.
So the water might be less critical.
We do have weapons though, but no ammo.
You have what you have on your character sheet.
Okay.
For as far as ammunition is concerned, assume what we're going to do is use at the end of each fight. We would roll the dice, and if you succeed, you're fine. If you fail, the dice gets smaller as your ammo is depleted. If you run out of that, then you've got nothing. So right now you've got a full load for each of your weapons that are on you, but you have nothing more. If you get in one firefight and you make use of your weapons, you may be out of ammunition. So.
Okay.
The downside is, here's the pressure for it, is after your first round of looking, I will roll a d4. If I roll a success, a 4 or higher, that means the enemy has caught up to you, and you will deal with some of them. Doesn't mean you're going to be killed or anything, it just means that you're going to have to deal with that. On the second pass, that dice goes up to a 6. On the next pass, an 8. On the next pass, a 10. So it doesn't guarantee you, but they are coming. You're going to have to be sneaky if you want to be grabbing supplies and such after this. So, that is the situation you find yourselves in. I have one more bit of good news. We're just past noon my time. Everyone gets a Benny. So, what is the plan here? Your Benny is your green bar as well.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I got an order. I should look out for food, I suppose.
Okay.
I mean, I could crawl in there back where maybe the others couldn't reach, and try to find maybe some smaller compartment where the food was stored or so.
Okay. And this is where you guys can feel free to be creative with your skills or, kind of your backstory. I'm happy to say yes to any reasonable suggestions as to how you're taking advantage of your own strengths.
Well, Lieutenant, you seem to need food, water, ammo, and cover from approaching enemy at some point. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we should divide and conquer here, Sergeant. It sounds like the private's got his nose on some food. I suggest that I shall go look for ammunition, and you see if you can get some fuel. We should have a vehicle here.
Okay.
All right. There's a tank on board, actually, too, Lieutenant. We can keep our eyes open for.
Very good.
Okay.
The
Very good,
beauty.
Sergeant.
It was, at least.
So here we go. Let's quickly talk about how everyone survived the what do you call it? The wreckage too.
Crash.
And this is effective. You found Wrathbone in the last car you looked in. So there is no other, no reason to be looking any further for any other survivors. We're going to take advantage of the bumps and bruises rules from Savage Worlds. As you guys, I want you to think back to where, as you guys are splitting up and heading off to the cabin, we maybe flash back to the scene when you guys were on the train. Where do you think you were when all of this happened, and what do you think you were doing? Like, this is, you guys were heading up to battle. Did we find you sitting among your comrades, kind of laughing things up? Were you in the washroom, kind of worried about what was to come? Were you, meeting up with some kind of illicit, extra, what do you call it, fraternizing with members of the Corps as one last hurrah before you go? What do you guys think? Or perhaps running a little dice game?
Let's see.
Now, I had been in the command car, poring over maps at our destination, already planning our tactics on arrival.
How did Lieutenant Kemper get along with her colleagues prior to this, do you think?
they thought she was perhaps a bit earnest and, an up-and-comer, somebody who was going to fresh out of military college, but determined to do well. So some of them could find her a bit wary.
So this is, for those listening at home, this is James's first time playing Savage Worlds, and I'll tell you one of the things I've said to other players about this. So you can see on your character sheet you've got something called hindrances. One of the things I really love about Savage Worlds is the hindrances seem to be less like, oh, you have to play your character this way, or, you're going to take a certain penalty to certain things, and more of like, this is your opportunity to cause trouble and have fun. Like the types of things that are on your character sheet, it opens up, or for the hindrances, it gives you justification to cause fun for the others. So, it's not to cause, to be an asshole to other players, but things like curious or like, impulsive, you don't have to make a dice roll to determine whether it's there or not, but it gives you the license to, to play your character in a fun way that will cause problems for the rest of the group. So I wonder whether you were thinking of the code of honor that may be grading on others. She's got that like untested, perspective on what combat or whatnot might be if she's fresh from the war.
Yep, I had seen those hindrances, so I thought,
fabulous.
We'll go into that.
Awesome. Now, why don't you give us, and if you were there, I think then why don't you give us an athletics check, please? Let's see, as the explosion goes off and you're thrown around, this will just be you. Okay, so that's a success. So because of a success, that means you do not gain a level of fatigue. You managed to largely escape this unscathed. Sergeant Bartley or Private Wrathbone, where do you think you were when the train was bombed?
I think that this was a rare opportunity for Sergeant Bartley to not be taking care of the kids, as they say in sergeant school.
Yep.
And so he was back. He was getting a couple of idle pleasures going. He was polishing the tank with with the rag back there.
Yeah.
And he was showing a young female lower-ranking dwarf how to polish that tank. And so,
is that what the kids are calling it now?
That's what the kids are calling it.
Awesome. Okay,
yeah.
So why don't you give us an athletics check then, please?
All right. Okay. There we go. Okay.
Nice, very nice. All right. So what, when, after the explosion went off, if Bartley was with someone else, what was his initial reaction to finding that she did not survive?
Yeah, I mean, he I think his, he was digging for a while.
Yeah.
He was convinced he was going to find her. Like that was really not in question. And so he spent precious time, too much time really, for one soldier under the circumstances, digging and calling out until finally he probably kind of came out of a, this isn't happening.
Yeah.
And snapped back to his, what he's got to do.
Maybe that's when he heard Lieutenant Kemper calling out.
Yeah.
Right, and you kind of, pulled yourself together and then went and rejoined her. What about Private Wrathbone?
And I think maybe I found a patch or something from her uniform that I've stuck in my pocket.
Nice, love it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Private Wrathbone.
Yeah, I think he was tasked to fetch something for someone of more importance, which would be basically anyone. And somehow I think it must be in the back in the back of the train, and there was this open door, and this when you see an open door, it's just an invitation to just have a peek, and maybe he was in this compartment where he shouldn't have been at the moment.
So here's what you hear. Actually, you know what? That gives me an opportunity to add a little scene in here too. Roll 20 will cooperate. Yes, here we go. what you heard was someone speaking in a language that I'm not sure. Why don't you give us a common knowledge roll, Private Wrathbone? Let's see if you happen to speak the language of the enemy. Yeah, you do. So you heard someone speak, that it was placed and go. And you step out, I think, in time to see someone standing within there. Who looks like this. And you cannot see his eyes, so it's tough to tell whether he saw you or not. But he looks over, and in your imagination he saw you, but then with a gesture, he sort of falls into the floor and vanishes, leaving a little crimson scorch on the ground. And it was almost immediately afterwards when everything went to shit. Would you give us a athletics check, please?
Mm-hmm.
And athletics, I suppose.
Okay.
Yep. Good enough. All right. So that tells us that no one is suffering from any fatigue right now. Then, now we'll draw some cards, and then we'll make some rolls here. So what this will tell us, James, is the order that we're going to go through for who's doing things. And if I draw a face card, something interesting will be found on this pass. Nothing interesting this time. Now, but one thing you can do is if you guys want to improve, put your thumb on the scale and try and find something more interesting. You can spend a penny to draw a new card. And you get in this game, unless you roll double twos, you always take the better of the available options, or double ones. So, like, you can always take the better of two cards. You can always take the better of a roll unless you roll a one. Anyone want to spend Benny to get a new card, or you good with what you got?
Okay, I'll try. How do I do that?
You just reduce your Benny by one, and I will give you a new card.
Too.
You too? Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing for you yet. Okay. So, but here's what the options are. Oh, sorry. Start.
It's up to the sergeant again. I guess I'll do so. I'll do so too if I can. Still.
You got it. No, but here's the options though. Okay. Let's see here. What that tells you is what your the easiest thing to find, the easiest resource to find. Oh, and what you can also do with you've got a thing called conviction. Conviction can be spent. You only get one conviction for this session. You can spend it after your dice roll to roll 1d6 exclamation mark and add it to the result. That's for damage or for skill rolls or trait rolls. All right, so then let's see here. It would be.
You said we started with what did we start with? Conviction.
With conviction, you all start with conviction. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that lets we'll live for these one shots. Just live dangerously. By which I mean I'm going to be really fucking dangerous. Okay, let me start. Clubs, diamonds, hearts, spades. All right, so that means is currently Lieutenant Kemper. What you're finding, and it seems like you can start looking for, is... Let's see here. Water resources or fuel and spare parts. That's what the suit of the cards tells us. As you're looking around, that's what you're finding in here.
And I'll go for the fuel and spare parts.
The fuel and spare parts, okay. So hold on. Well, now, I'll tell you what you guys do, and then we'll do the order of this too. Sergeant Bartley, what you're seeing is water and ammunition. And Private Wrathbone, food and water. Okay? So what we do is just in any of these, whether it's combat or you know, these kinds of scenes, we start with the highest card and we go down unless someone wants to go act on the lower card. So Sergeant Bartley, your options are water or ammo.
Given what seems to be likely the approaching enemy, I'll actually go with ammo.
Ammo, you got it. So how do you think it's going to be noticed unless you can think of some other, factor that might play into this?
Let me see here. She still surrounded with science.
Other examples you can use: common knowledge to figure out the layout of the train, where things would be. You might use athletics to clamber up and over into hard to reach places, or any other skill you think might be, might make sense.
Would repair give me some information into like the?
I'll bet you that would tell you what would be salvageable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the ammo, or whatever.
You got it. Okay, so go ahead and give us a repair check, please.
Okay. Ooh.
You want to Benny that?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Because neither of those rolls was a 4, so no success yet.
There we
you go.
Oh, yes.
Holy smokes!
Yeah. Take
All
that,
right.
Savage World.
All right, so I'm going to cap the number of successes in there, but basically, you find a D10 worth of ammunition in here.
Nice.
So you have more than enough ammo than you could ever hope for, all of it in a salvageable state. So if you guys want to track, I don't know how you guys want to track this stuff on your character sheets, and just in chat, but you've got a D10 in ammo right now.
All right.
Okay. Next up is Private Wrathbone. Your options were food or water.
Yeah, I would go for food. Yeah.
Food, and what are you thinking? Here.
Yeah, I don't really know. I think maybe there is something like this military rations where you could just use a bag maybe and collect as many as possible, because maybe they were in some kind of box, but the box is broken because the train fell over.
Yeah.
Just try to pull it out.
Are you thinking notice then, for just to try and spot where this shit is?
Yeah, that's okay for me. Notice is great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. So give us a notice check, please. There you go.
Worked.
You got a food of D4. So you have ammo D10 and food of D4. And then finally, Lieutenant Kemper, is it? You said fuel and spare parts you're looking for.
Fuel.
Fuel? Yep. Oh, no, I mean, it'll be both of those. You'll be able to find a supply of those. Unless you get a vehicle, that's not going to be useful yet. But what skill are you thinking? Notice will be the default, but if you've got something else you think might apply, I'm happy to apply it.
Oh, common knowledge. Where would the fuel be on a train?
Sure. Yep. Give us a common knowledge check, please. Oh, no! That is awesome. Okay, so one of the things at default, when you roll double ones in Savage Worlds, it is a critical failure. Something fun and interesting happens, and you cannot, you cannot get around that. So, we can picture you guys are spread across this busted and broken train. Lieutenant Kemper, each of you has gone off on your own. Sergeant Bartley, you find more ammunition than you'd be able to fire in a week. Well, maybe not you. Private Wrathbone, you find a good little cache of supplies. Lieutenant Kemper, however, as you're looking through, you're like, oh, I found it. And that is when, let me get stuff set up here. And I think you guys are only like one round away from one another, or perhaps let's say 2 successes on an athletics check away from one another, and you could do multi-action on it. But let me just set up what Lieutenant Kemper finds here. And I think it's not even that you find per se, that you throw open a hatch, and you find waiting for you in there. Let's see here. A present. Oof. What appears to be one of the enemy's pack masters walking along, searching through the train with 4 of his giant wolves, and they are feasting, the wolves at least, on the remains of your fallen companions. Can you hear them? Now, we are going to drop into combat. So, you can picture they're all sort of clustered relatively together. The way we do initiative for combat is we draw cards. I don't think anyone has any edge that modifies your how many cards you get or what kind of cards. So let's go left to right here. Lieutenant Kemper, 7. Sergeant Bartley, Ace. Private Wrathbone, Queen. And the villains. A 2. That's dog shit. All right, so I'm going to spend one of... I get bennies just like you guys. And I will spend one of my bennies to take another card for that. But anyone else? Right now, you were acting... Or you know what? Hold on. No, I'm not going to do that. I'll keep it. This is your first time playing. I don't need to go before you. I can kill you afterwards. So... I think you hear a howl. All of you. Oh, let's do this. Why don't... yeah, I stick with you. Not a surprise, Sergeant. Why doesn't Sergeant Bartley and Private Wrathbone each give us a notice check, please?
Oh.
How we do here? Holy smokes! All right, so Bartley, this you can hear, absent anything else happening, you already hear the howl of the wolves very, very close, and I think you, with that good of a roll, you put it together with where, holy shit! Yeah, I was like, why is that not green? And like, oh, because you rolled a 1 at one point. Yeah, because the green,
right.
If you roll 1, it cancels out the green. So
Yep.
you immediately know that Kemper's in trouble. And these things are these are the outriders that normally are, you know, the vanguard. Think of them kind of like yeah. I mean, they ride horses as well too, which this one you don't see him on it, Kemper. So you would know, Bartley, she is in a great deal of trouble. Wrathbone, you could spend. You didn't get a raise out of it. Do you want to spend a Benny and re-roll your notice?
So I need a raise, actually.
I think you need a raise to be able to hear it and place it, because they're not making a... You've been hearing howling since you came out here?
Yeah, okay, so I will spend a penny then.
Okay.
So let's see.
There you go.
Yeah.
Both of you can tell precisely where things are going on. So, first up, unless anyone is spending any bennies to get a new card, first off, everyone gets another benny. It is 12:30 my time. Bartley, you're up first. What are you doing? So to reach there, it will take you 2 successes on a athletics check. So you just reach there in time. So you could just spend, if you get a raise on an athletics check, you'll get there this round. If not, it will be an extra round or so before you get there.
I think he was pretty happy, right?
Yeah.
He was kind of in his element. He's, as a sergeant is a tank guy, the whole 9 yards. I mean, this kind of ammo is, it's good times. I mean, we needed a break, and he's like, there we go, like we're coming back, like that's the which is kind of what he preaches to the kids, his kids as per se. And so look for a turn, it's coming, So he's kind of organizing, and then he hears this, and he's like, oh, for 10 minutes, really? I couldn't have 10 more minutes, to pack the pack and organize. So he grabs what he's got and dashes off towards the lieutenant.
Awesome. Give us a athletics check, please.
Yep. All right.
Come on.
You know what? The question it asks is miscellaneous trait modifier. I don't really need to worry about that, right?
No, unless I'm. That's only when I'm. All your modifiers for your character sheets are baked in to calculate right now. That's if there's a situational thing.
Nice. Okay.
A success. Okay, so you're one away unless you want to spend a Benny and re-roll.
Let's see. Yeah. I will. I'm gonna wait.
You got it. She can handle herself for one round.
Close call.
Dwarven legs are carrying as fast as you can. Private Wrathbone, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, I try to be there as fast as possible, and maybe I would just not try to be really, really close, but to maybe climb through the roof or come on the roof, because then I could be a sniper. That's the
Absolutely.
idea.
Go ahead and give us a what do you call
Athletics?
it? Yes, please.
Yeah. That seems to work.
That's huge. Okay, so with 22, I think I'll let you act this round. So you get there, and then what are you thinking?
Nice.
You're going to take the -2 for multi-action penalty for it, but you come scrambling up and over, and you can see Kemper is near this car and seems to have staggered back. These things have just kind of come around the corner and are coming towards you. They're probably, I don't know, however long it takes to cover the distance in one round. Away.
I think I would just shoot at one of the wolves, just for getting them a little bit more cautious.
Sure. I mean, are you using your rifle or your pistol?
No, the rifle. I think I will lay on the top and just try to shoot.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, so it's -2, yeah?
-2, yeah. James, target number to hit at range always starts with a 4, unless there's some other power or whatnot.
Ooh, that was really a bad roll. So
target number to hit in melee is the parry of the target you're shooting against, or you're fighting against. So go ahead and give us... Oh, sorry, did you want to spend a Benny reroll?
Yes.
Go right ahead.
That should be the case. I mean, come on. Yeah,
there you go. Hit with a raise. So go ahead and roll damage. Oh, make sure you're clicking on your weapon when you're doing your attacks.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
So, but we'll get a preview of that.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I would just... So, and then I roll damage. Yeah.
You roll the raise again. I love it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll damage.
So that is 15, I suppose.
That's your attack roll. You got to roll damage still.
No, that was a damage roll, or... Nope. 2d8 is...
There you go. Sorry, it was delayed on my end.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I was hit with a raise, so that's 15 damage with AP2. One of those wolves drops down. And that would be, James, because extras, if they take a wound, they are defeated.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so there are options for that, but yeah, great shot. And then what AP does is it ignores armor, but not toughness. Just like in Rogue Trader, where like your AP, your DR will defeat, or whatever it is, the armor piercing will defeat armor, but not your toughness bonus. All right, so Lieutenant Kemper, you're maybe reacting with a little bit of trepidation to this revelation, but then you see Private Wrathbone has got your 6. A quick shot, one of those wolves go down. Your turn, what are you doing?
I think I'll try this confusion spell on. Can I get... How many of them can I get in this blast?
Because we're doing Theater of the Mind, we're going to look at the... I think it's 2 to 3 with a medium burst template. That's what you're using, right?
Mm-hmm.
MBT? Okay, so medium burst template for area effect is... I think it's 2 to 3. Let's see. Come on. Wrong section. There we go. 3 targets. Yep. So the wolves, or you want to catch 2 of the wolves and the guy?
I got 2 of the wolves and the guy.
You got it. So go ahead and click on the power. That'll do your spellcasting check, and you can tell us what it looks like. Okay, a success with a raise. All right, so all making them either distracted or vulnerable, or both with a raise. So first off, what does it look like as you're casting your power, and what does your confusion spell manifest like?
It's actually waves puts a hand out in front of it, and it's like there's the ripple effect goes away from our hand and hits them like sort of waves and jelly. It's nice. On the
okay. So it hits the 3 of them. So they are vulnerable. What distracted means is they take -2 to their actions. Vulnerable means it's +2 to actions against them. Normally you have to pick that. In this case, you caused both. So they're just getting completely disoriented by this thing. And let me give you this option, because your character would have known this. The casting spell costs 2. You could have spent 1 extra power point to make that a large burst template and hit all of them.
All right, yep. So.
Okay. You also rolled a raise, which means it reduces the power by 1. So take 1 power point off for casting spell.
Because the confusion shows as it's 1 power point.
It's 1
so
power point. You spent 1 extra, which would have been 2, right, for the large burst template.
Oh, right.
-1 for the raise is normally what you would decide what your modifiers are before you go, but first time playing the game, so who cares? Okay. So you've gestured with that, and all of them are surrounded with this effect. What is the duration of that? Is it instant?
It lasts until at the end of their next turn.
Nice. Okay, so on their turn, they are very thrown off. So what he says in Wrathbone, we know, speaks this language. Get them. And so they are going to go racing over towards you, Kemper. So 3 wolves, 3 coming towards you. They're still under the effect of that. So Kemper, what is your parry?
And my parry is 6.
6. All right, so I have -2 because I am distracted. So here we go. One of them manages to connect, so you're able to keep all of them at bay. What is your toughness currently?
My toughness is 5 (1).
Okay, so what that tells us in the brackets is how much is coming from armor. So if I have an armor-piercing ability, I can reduce them up to a maximum of 2. However, I did not roll well. So what you said was 5
(1).
5 (1). Okay, so I rolled a 7 on damage, which means you are shaken. So there's a little button on there. Hit shaken. It just means at the start of your next turn, you will need to unshake. You are close to getting vulnerable. Normally, a second shaken result will cause injury. Okay. And then on his round, he is going to draw his sword. He'll draw his pistol, and then he's going to aim up at you, Wrathbone. I'm assuming you've got at least medium cover here, so you got +4. I have -6 to hit you. My 2 is not going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
He's cursing with the distraction. Let's do one more round, then we'll do our mid-session break. So, first up, we've got Lieutenant Kemper. A 3.
I will.
We're drawing cards first here.
Oh, for just drawing cards. Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
Lieutenant Kemper got a 3. Sergeant Bartley, an ace again. Private Wrathbone, a joker, or a jack.
That is great. Oh,
and
jack. Oh, no, not a joker.
A 4. Damn. Okay, I'm going to spend a Benny. Draw another card. 10. It's not bad. All right, so Lieutenant Kemper, you want to spend a Benny, get a new card?
Yeah, I'd better spend 1, yep.
Okay, let's see here. King!
Aha!
Nice.
Good.
Anyone else spending a Benny?
Nope.
Nope. All right. Bartley, you're up first. Now, Bartley, I'm going to give you an option as well. If you want to try and get here and take an action, just take -2 to your athletics check.
Let's do it.
Okay. Come on.
So put in -2 in the.
In the modifier.
Yep.
And
That didn't go well.
that did not go well. You want to spend a Benny re-roll? Same modifiers. Could be the same condition.
Give it. Yep.
Okay.
Let's give it a shot. Athletics -2.
Come on, Bartley. Bartley.
Oh.
Oh, dang. So I think you tried to do a shortcut and you realize afterwards it's sort of there. You still need one more success. However, you did take a multi-action penalty, so for your second action, you could do athletics again. It's going to suffer the same penalty, just means when you arrive, if you arrive, you won't be able to do anything.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. That's tough to get around like that.
It is.
Okay.
That's why he likes a tank, so he doesn't have to walk on those little legs.
You want to penny that? You do have conviction as well. I'm not sure if you want to spend it on this, but
I think it's time to take the penalty. I think he's gotten huffed. You know, he's like cursing, and you know he's lost in the maze of the train cars, and
Yep. I forgot something too. Lieutenant Lillian, would you give us an attack with your sword, please? You have first strike. When they moved into contact with you, you should have been able to take a quick slash at one of these wolves. Okay. You could have spent a Benny on the attack to re-roll if you'd like.
Yeah, why not? Let's...
That would have been a hit. The parry is 5. Go ahead and roll damage. Ten is enough to have taken one down, so let me roll. I've got a 1 in 3 chance of it being the one that hit you, that you took down. I wasn't the one that you took down, unfortunately, but there is one less wolf around you right now. So as it came in, you'd cast your spell, they came charging in, you slash one of them, and then one of them manages to throw you off balance and looks like you may be vulnerable. But then it is your turn next. What are you doing?
I guess I need to roll to unshake, right?
Yes. Or go ahead and click on unshake. Yes. You go ahead and act. What are you doing?
I will. Then I think I will. I guess I'll slash with my saber again.
Go right ahead.
A bit difficult to get away at this point.
Okay. You could, so that's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. I'll tell you what you can do. You can take a multi-action penalty -2 to your actions. If you want to know what tactical options you have available to you as well, if you go to the little dagger on your character sheet, it gives you all the options in Savage Worlds. So things like Wild Strike and all the different optional stuff. It's how the players normally find the answer to shit. Holy smokes! What's it look like is you hack a second one of these down.
Yeah, so I slash the first, and then with the backslash again, the next one's head lops off.
And then Private Wrathbone, you're up next. What are you doing?
Yeah, I think I would just shoot at the master there.
Okay.
I think you can't do an all-out attack in range, yeah?
No, Wild Strike needs to be in melee.
Yeah, okay. So I would just be careful and just try to hit him, but that has no mechanical effect, I suppose.
Yeah, you could spend a whole round aiming, but then you'd have to wait till next turn to make your shot.
Yeah, no. Okay. Come on, I will hit him, I'm sure.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah, maybe 7 is enough. I don't know.
That is a hit. Whoop. We're seeing Barton, all of Bentley's power showing up in
sorry.
chat.
Yeah.
That was my fault.
That's okay. That's a hit, not a raise. Oh, and remember to click on your weapon too.
Yeah. I just and now I'm rolling damage.
Yep. Here we go. Come on.
14.
Oh, yes.
Nice. What's it look like as he goes down?
Yeah, I think I just found so here about should be his heart.
Yeah.
Well, let's see whether this person has one. So,
The way he drops to the snowy ground suggests that is the case, or at least he did. And then finally, the no problem, John. Let me go, you damn sheet.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the single wolf that's left. So you may have noticed that when you're rolling your actions, James, you're rolling a skill dice or a trait dice as well as a wild dice, a d6. Extras only get to roll whatever their actual trait is. So the cards always have a better chance of succeeding on things, but you can fight wild cards as well. I hit you. Let's see. Gets in on you again. That is a 11, 12, 13. I got 13 against your 5. That is a hit with 2 wounds. Oof. So what you can do is, if you'd like, you can spend a Benny and try and soak that.
Okay, so I'll take 1 Benny off, and then...
Okay. Oh, make sure you you do the soak beforehand, because you don't suffer the penalty. Like, each wound gives you a -1 to the action, so you don't want to take the wounds first, otherwise it'll penalize your dice roll.
Okay.
Okay.
So then I'll soak.
Give us, soak roll.
No modifier?
No modifier. Come on. Oh, you got yourself down as distracted right now, so that actually would have been a success.
Oh, okay. Where am I distracted from?
Don't know. Let's see here.
I mean, you were shaken at one point, but that's over.
Yeah, the shaken is over. Oh, do you have your shaken?
Oh, I think I was shaken, vulnerable, and stunned, evidently.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, then
they were all selected.
So that's a success. That reduces it by 1. You would suffer only 1 wound, or you could spend a Benny and re-roll if you like. You should take the 1 wound.
I'll just take the 1 wound.
Okay. So it gets you, and because this is Paridar, let's give us make this a little gritty. We'll tell you what that wound is. Give us a 2d6 roll, please, Lieutenant. Six. Oh, right in the guts. This thing was on your guts right now, and your strength is going to be 1 less until that wound is healed. This is not normally part of Savage rules, but if you want to play with gritty rules, this is the way you do that. So the way we do that on your character sheet, James, easily is there are temporary, if you open up your thing for editing, you actually, come on, load. There you go. We click on the little unlock thing to open it for editing. Come on, there we go. And then we go into the cog next to strength, and we put down -1 steps. And then the character sheet will take care of it. And you see how it's red with the asterisks on there?
Oh, yep.
That is because we know it's a modifier. That also comes from when positive modifiers from spells or such happen. Okay. So you've been cut. Oh! And this thing's gnawed at your guts. I think you're going to finish this thing off in 1 round. So let's quickly do this. Then we'll take our mid-session break. Lieutenant Kemper, an 8. Sergeant Bartley, 9. And Private Wrathbone, a king. The wolf has a jack. Anyone want to spend a Benny and get a new card? Okay. Then we're up with Private Wrathbone first. What are you doing?
Yeah, can I see the wolf and shoot at it from
Definitely.
my location? So then I will just do that. Come on.
Go right ahead.
No, not shooting. Choose the rifle.
Oh, yeah. Choose your weapon, please.
Yeah.
That's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, that's almost impossible because I have a blocking thing in the way, but I will try to. This is raw damage. It's one of those tooltips is just staying there.
Okay, that's not great. You could spend a Benny and re-roll damage if you like.
Yeah, I think I should. We would re-roll damage. So let's see.
Come on.
That's better.
What's it look like as you take that wolf down?
Yeah, I think that's a headshot. And he's...
All right, so this thing pulls away from you, Lieutenant Lillian. You're hurt, and then there's again that crack of Private Wrathbone's rifle, and it drops down dead. What do you guys do next? Seems that these immediate... You can hear there are still more on here, but you're not going to trigger anything until either critical fail rolls or I roll my encounter. And you haven't found anything yet. Sergeant Bartley, at long last, you come running around. And what you see is 4 dead wolves and a dead member of the enemy's army. And it appears that Lieutenant Kemper is injured.
So, first of all, Bartley can't believe he missed the combat. That's preposterous. And has some, he's mumbling something about, I was way out there. I was out in the, and so he, and then he runs over to the, he runs over to the lieutenant.
Okay. Are you thinking of making use of
healing spell?
The rejuvenation. Okay.
Yes. So, unless, is that our best? Because we don't have neither. We're not medics, right?
Well, as long as you've got the healing skill, you can make. It takes 10 minutes per wound, and we'll assume you guys have first aid kits. On a success with a healing check, you remove 1 wound, and that will remove your penalty as well, Lillian.
Yep. So I've got a healing thing. So, shall I give it a crack? I'll try. Before bandaging myself up.
Okay.
Okay. Could I scout then in the meantime, or whatever?
Get rid of your wound and get rid of that penalty to your strength. This is only 10 minutes. It will take you a little longer to try and look for the next batch of supplies. But why don't we do this? Why don't we take our mid-session? First off, everyone gets a Benny. And we'll take our mid-session break right now. We will come back, and then we'll do your next round of searching for gear. You got tons of, as long as you can eat ammunition, I think you guys are fine.
Nice.
So we'll be back, for those listening at home, we'll be back in about 5 minutes. We lose you from the Zoom call, Ingolf?
Yeah, I was. It told me I need to update the software right now. Whatever reason.
That sounds about right. All right. You know what I'll do is
And then, I was asked for the typically our terms of service have changed and whatever.
Yeah.
So.
The bastards. All right. Maybe what I'll do is while we're waiting, I'll get the cards drawn for everyone's next round of searching for gear. At least the initial round of cards. Here we go. Yeah, we need a face card here. Come on.
Yeah. We use them all for initiative.
So those would be, let's see here. Diamonds. I'm covering it up. Food for Private Wrathbone, and fuel or spare parts for Lieutenant Kemper or Sergeant Bartley. That's the immediately identifiable stuff. So you could spend a Benny and get a new card, and...
Yeah, I should do that, yeah.
Okay.
I think the lieutenant had actually assigned me fuel, so I think I'm probably...
Fuel's what you're going to look for? Okay. Yeah. More food? Is that right? Diamonds? Yeah, more food.
Yeah, okay, so I'll stay at food, yeah.
Okay. We'll see. Lieutenant Kemper's only got one Benny left, but... What do you guys at? D4 for food and D10 for ammo?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know what I'd let you do, maybe, is if you want to look for something different, maybe you could spend your pass looking for something different and see if there's something available.
I would just to make things worse for ourselves, shouldn't we roll for ammunition after the fight?
Oh, yes, you should. Yes, you should. So you guys need to roll a D10 exclamation mark and a D6 exclamation mark.
See, by missing the combat, I don't have to do that. I'm good.
Okay. So I will roll then. Okay.
So and roll them separately so it doesn't add them together.
Okay. So that's a D10.
Oh. Okay, and D.
Ooh, yeah, that's yeah.
And D6.
Yeah, because you weren't there in time, so we didn't get
Success.
Yeah.
The group is still at D10 for ammo.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So then we need. We just need Kemper. Let me take a look at. I'm using. They've got scavenging rules in a couple of different sources in Savage Rules, but I like the ones out of Empires of Humanity. And there's some neat ones in there. Or I'm tweaking them just a little bit as well. Oh, you know I can. Here's another option, guys. Is you can take extra time. I make my roll to see if you have an encounter. I increase the dice up one more time and then give you another set of cards. So depending on how Lieutenant Kemper feels about looking for more food. Or hearts is, fuel. Anna says hi, by the way.
What's up, Anna?
It is gorgeous out here outside today.
Nice.
Yeah, really nice sun. Someone's got a campfire going in the backyard too in the neighborhood, so it's nice. And it's not next door.
Yeah.
When those fires next door, that's a fucking pain. I hate
Too much.
Well, you got to close all the windows then, so like the whole house doesn't smell like a campfire.
Yeah.
But when it's further down the block, that's someone else's immediate problem, and it smells kind of lovely outside.
What's the temperature there, Kevin?
It is 11 degrees Celsius and sunny.
All right.
So that is. We're waiting for James. Anywho, here, let's take a look. In Fahrenheit.
I mean, no, I don't need Fahrenheit.
That's pretty close to.
No, but the Americans do.
That's like 52,
51.
I think, and I'm. 51, and I'm 55. So right now,
Oh, nice.
So
Oh, yeah,
just
similar.
55. So yeah,
Yeah,
similar.
you guys are always cooler than the rest of Cali, right?
Yeah. In a pretty nice way. It's a good. I feel like cool. I mean, some people
Agreed.
like hot. I like cool. So,
No, I like it.
Yeah.
I've only been to San Francisco twice, but both times I really enjoyed the climate.
Yeah. Yep.
And I mean, this is before I stopped drinking, but I had apricot beer at oh boy, I don't know what park it was. There was a little like renovated kind of place near Fisherman's Wharf that had like home or house-made apricot beer. It was fucking awesome.
Wow. Nice.
Lieutenant Lillian, you're Kemper, forgive me, Lieutenant Kemper. You currently have a heart, which means fuel and spare parts as well. You want to spend a Benny and try and look for something different, or? Sergeant Bartley is sitting on more bennies, so you could force him to do it, I guess. RHIP. Oh boy.
Yes, Sergeant.
Would this be in addition to the fuel I found, Kevin, or would this be, or instead?
You have not found any fuel as of yet. You found ammo last time.
Oh, okay, because this current time, didn't I have what was I looking at this time?
This time you're looking at fuel and spare parts.
Fuel and spare parts. So
Yeah.
would this be in addition to that?
So this is well, no, because ammo and fuel and spare parts are two separate resources.
Sure.
Right
But
now, if you're moving
ahead.
on foot, you don't need to worry about spare parts or fuel. But if you do want to look for that that tank of yours, that's where you're going to want to, you know.
Lieutenant, I was thinking you'd assign me fuel. Is my memory?
He did, but what the thing is, what you guys are hoping for doesn't track to what is necessarily you're finding.
Gotcha.
Right? Like what you could do is instead of just like looking for the resources, you could try and find the resources and then collect it next round. So if you want to go looking for a specific resource, you could try and do like your tank. You could do that instead of trying to just collect the resource that you've got. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I got fuel or something else, Lieutenant.
Yeah. Or
Then
you use a Benny and find a Joker. That's what we're aiming at.
That Joker's still in there. At least two of them.
Sergeant, I suggest you go off and find that tank of yours. You've been telling.
Okay.
I can see from your tags that you're a tanker. And you there, Private.
Yeah.
Well done there. Well done there. In the circumstances, I think time for a field promotion. Lance Corporal now. What's your name?
Wrathbone, sir, madam, whatever.
All right. So then, since no one else is taking cards, that would be Private Wrathbone. What you got right now is fuel, or you could look for something else. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think. Well, I was told that someone is going to fetch a tank. Then I should really look for fuel. That's maybe very sensible.
So give us a notice check. Or whatever you think is appropriate for.
No notices. I think it's.
That is one thing that is carried over from. Whoa! So because you rolled a raise, I'll let you make a second check to try and start collecting things here. On this round. Okay, so
and that would be athletics then to collect them. Or?
Maybe, sure.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
I'll buy that. Start getting the jerry cans of fuel together.
Yeah.
All right, you got a D4. So you guys currently have a D10 in ammo, a D4 in food, and a D4 in fuel and spare parts. Sergeant Bartley, you're up next. Looking for fuel and spare parts. Or are you going to look for that tank instead?
I guess I will look for the tank.
Okay. What are you thinking would be the roll that you're rolling on? Notice, or are you relying on common knowledge of where things would be on this train?
I guess I will go for the weird science. Just to talk about that for a moment.
Yep.
What does that kind of point at?
That
like,
covers all.
That...
You have an ability to, like, your magic isn't spells per se. Like every one of your powers has to be linked to a specific device. So what I've suggested is like there's that staff he carries in his illustration. That's where your bolt comes from. There's the dynamo, whatever I called it, discharge, which is like a burst of electrical power. You got your little hand grenades you can roll out to do electromagnetic for your havoc, and then you got your serum that you inject for your healing.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Let's that doesn't seem like I could probably stretch that into this. So let's say
if you spend a Benny, I'd maybe let you use weird science to try and like maybe there's some power that you're trying to like get the power readings that run on the engine of your tank.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. So go ahead and give us a weird science roll.
Yeah.
Success, you found it. So next round
Nice.
you'll have to be starting to, get it going. But I can at least tantalize you with the picture of your baby.
Yeah.
Looks like there's a squished dwarf in the treads, I think.
I was going to say, I think if he found the tank, he would compulsively look for her.
Sure, yeah.
To start it off.
Okay. So you got your tank there as well. Then Lieutenant Kemper, you are currently rolling. What you found here is fuel and spare parts. Do you want to do that, or you want to look for something else?
I think I'll go for the spare parts.
Okay. Go right ahead.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh.
Ooh. You want to Benny that?
Yeah, better.
Okay.
I suppose it's...
Nice. With a raise. So you currently have D4 in fuel and spare parts. Let's bump that up to a D8. Okay. So D4 in food, D10 in ammo, D8 in fuel and spare parts. You don't have water. Your food's a little limited, but you also found a tank, I guess. That isn't showing up. So then, let me roll to see if anything. Anna is eager to see more wolves show up here. That one. Nothing this round. So, next round. I'll draw the cards, show you what is available. Here we go. And Kemper, 9. That is fuel and spare parts. King, hearts again. God dang. Fuel and spare parts. And fuel and spare parts. Anybody want to spend a penny to get a new card?
Yeah, wasn't there something about picture cards?
Oh, there is. Yes, there is. Yeah. Hold on. All right, so King. All right, let me take a look here. So it'll be something related to fuel and spare parts here.
No, there's this extra cannon that you always wanted to mount at the tank.
So sweet. Yeah.
What you found, you can see on top of there, there is let's assume it's not attached here, but that little Gatling gun on the top there. Sergeant Bartley, you found that in here. So you could spend your action getting that, or spend your action getting the thing ready. Private Wrathbone. Let's see here. You found a small cache of grenades.
Good.
So those could be, let's give you a D4 worth of grenades, and we'll roll those at the end of every time they are used. Because you got enough with a tank, you've got more than enough space to load that shit in. So that is in addition to whatever fuel and spare parts you may be able to collect as well. Anyone want to spend any bennies for cards?
What is the sergeant's sense on how much fuel we should have?
So the way it's going to work is the end of each day, we will roll and we'll make your you make a roll for your fuel and spare parts and see where you are with it. If you roll a success, then you can carry on to the next day with no problem. If you roll a fail, it goes down. The dice size goes down by 1. If you roll a critical fail, it goes down by 2.
I think I'm going to stick with mine.
Okay. What the heck is going on outside? Oh, there's little kids delivering flyers. That is the appropriate response. Okay. So then, we go in order. So, Private Wrathbone, you found this cache of grenades. Yeah,
let's
secure
take
those.
them.
Okay.
Yes.
Sergeant Bartley, you found a Gatling gun, and you found your tank last round.
Yeah, I'm on a roll.
What are you thinking? It'll take a round to kind of get the tank up and running with a repair check, or you can collect the and secure the Gatling gun. That's not an all or one. Like, you can get someone else next round to collect the Gatling gun, or you can ask Lieutenant Kemper maybe to do that instead of looking for more fuel and ammo, or fuel and spare parts.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I will. I'll work on the tank then.
Okay. And leave it to Lieutenant Kemper. So give us a repair check, please.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
It's 4.
Uh-oh. You want to spend a Benny re-roll that? You also all have your conviction still as well.
True. I'll sit on it. Let's see. I'll just spend the point. And go.
Okay. All right. So you've got this thing up and running. Steam is coming out of the back of this thing.
And that sweet smell of that kind of whatever that is, coal, steam. You know, unlike Kevin, who doesn't like that campfire smell, the sergeant just like thrives on this.
It.
Like,
all right.
Yeah.
And Lieutenant, what would you like to do? You want to try and increase the fuel and spare parts dice? You want to collect that Gatling gun that Sergeant Bartley found, or do you want to try and look for something else?
Yeah, I'll get that Gatling gun then.
Okay. She's got a Gatling gun ready and mounted. Let me roll my D8, and I'll tell you whether... That's a 3. You guys have one more round if you want to try and collect stuff. Or at least one more round before the next combat comes. So 5. Oh, clubs. Hasn't shown up yet. Clubs again. And... Clubs again. So ammo. Bunches. Tons and tons of ammo. You guys can spend a Benny if you like. To take another Benny.
The question would be: do grenades count as ammo? So if I just
grenades are separate from it.
Okay, so that's.
And that's a kind of a special thing that you need to find with a card. And let's make it, you know what? It's James's first time playing Savage Worlds. Why don't we all take another Benny? As the game tells us in the rule book, you can never have too many Bennies. So, does that change anyone's decision, or are you going to be looking for ammo? Or again, you could spend your turn looking for something else. Specifically.
We need water. Huh? I mean, I realize there's snow, but we have no water. Seems a little low. And food is obviously low. So Lieutenant, all of us going with ammo seems like we should spread out a little bit on that one. Don't you think, Lieutenant? What do you think?
Yeah, I think we should be able to melt the snow on the engine of your tank. So let's
Clever, Lieutenant. Clever. But on the food, maybe food.
On the food, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get to it.
So who is going to be looking for the food? Who is going to be... Oh, and let's talk about one other mechanic in the game, which is support. So what you can choose to do on like in a combat round or on one of these types of things, if someone wants to help someone else out, they can make a similar roll. On a success, they add +1 to whoever is they're supporting. On a raise, they give +2 to whoever they're supporting. So if you guys want to roll it that way, you're welcome to do it, or you can go individually. What do you guys think?
I will. So I guess I'll spend a Benny to look for something else. Is that the way?
No. You could spend a Benny and get another card to see what opportunity presents itself, or you could spend the round looking for something else specifically.
I'll spend the round, I guess, looking for food.
Okay. So assuming no one else is spending bennies.
Yeah. I would like. Come on, it's a gamble. Let's spend a Benny here.
Here we go. Let's see. Come on.
Might find an F-16. Gotta hope.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else spending bennies? Nada? Okay, then. Here it comes. It's on the precipice.
Sure. Well, now that I'll take the Lance Corporal's advice.
Joker! Everyone gets a Benny. And you're going to have +2 to your trait checks this pass, Sergeant Bartley. So, does that affect what you're looking for? Here's with a Joker, you can find whatever you want. You want food?
I think we go food.
We got food. All right.
Hungry troops. No good.
Also, because of the Joker, you get to choose when to go. Do you want to go first or you want to go later?
I'll go later.
Okay. So then first up will be Private Wrathbone. What are you looking for?
Yeah, I think that was aim, and I shouldn't go...
Clubs or ammo, yeah. Let me put it in chat, actually. Why didn't I do this before?
Yeah, come on. Nah, we need the ammo. That's... I know how I don't know, but I think if the sergeant is anyway typical, we will need all the ammo we could get.
There we go. Okay, so go ahead and give us a... what are you thinking? What notice once again?
Yeah, notice would be great, but I can't open my character sheet anymore. It just doesn't open.
What is going on there?
Yeah, I think I have to reload.
Okay.
Sorry. Now I'm hearing sound again. I don't know what this is. So, okay, notice. Yeah, this is...
It's one of the joys of the hiccups of Roll20. Okay. Let's see here. There you go. All right, so you can increase your ammo dice by 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think your camera's off as well, too, in Roll20.
Yeah, it's just... we'll start again.
See here.
So, yeah.
All right, so once again, Private Wrathbone is stocking up on some ammo. Sergeant Bartley, you want to go next, or would you like to get Lieutenant Kemper to go next?
Go ahead, Lieutenant.
All right. So, Lieutenant, what presents itself as ammo, or you can look for something else.
I'll look for some food.
Okay. Go ahead and give us a, what do you think, notice or common knowledge?
Notice, I think.
Notice.
The common knowledge didn't work out so well. Mind you, this doesn't work out any better. So
would you like to spin
I'll try a Benny.
Okay,
yeah.
Go ahead. All right, so nothing this pass. Sergeant Bartley, you're going to get +2 to this roll. What are you looking for?
Food.
Food, right. Go ahead and give us a notice check at +2, please.
All right.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to reshuffle the deck because we have had a Joker come up. So you found some. Next round, you'll be able to start collecting it.
Nice.
Okay, then we've shuffled the deck. Oh, I got to roll. Hold up. I'll put this card down, but I do have to actually roll a D10 now. There we go. All right. So I'll get rid of that. So as you guys are collecting everything and getting your stuff loaded up in the tanks, you can hear a throatier growl than what you heard before. And stalking down the train where are they here? I'll go to the GM's lair here. Oh, yeah. There we go. A trio of giant werewolves. And I will use Won't use those as our token.
Which one of us is the Witcher?
Here we go. I'm going to put 3 tokens down for the werewolves. Boom. And boom. Okay. So. They have not yet found you, but they are actively looking for you. So what that means, or the reason that's important, is because on a normally if someone's not looking for you, you just need to make a successful stealth check. It's not contested. If someone is actively looking for you, then it becomes a contested roll between notice and stealth. So let's draw some cards. Let's see where everyone's going. Kemper, you're in a 7. Bartley, 3. Rathbone, 8. Werewolves. And it's cheering for the werewolves. 10 for the werewolves. Anyone spending bennies to get new cards? Got 'em? Okay. So, the wolves are up first. Because they're up first, that means they get to roll and try and spot you. They don't need, it's not a contested roll because you guys are not hiding. So let me get my stats from a werewolf.
Just check a few things.
I also want to thank you guys for justifying a whole bunch of different purchases with today's session. So I've been able to draw chips from a bunch of things, including the Weird War 1 book. Yeah. Okay. Then, where are you, boys? I suspect they have pretty decent notice.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, here we go. Now, because they are extras, though, so they're only going to get to roll 1 dice and 1 wild dice. Go for the group of them. And, they've smelled you guys. They've smelled you. They know Bartley's working away on that stinking, remember that lovely scent that you draped yourself in? We're so happy to engage. It's catnip for these werewolves. Then we'll do the same thing with the athletics, see how long it takes them to get to you. They need 2 to reach you. Bartley, they're there. I'm just going to bring her in here because she's been barking up a storm. Okay, honey. Hey, come on.
I mean, reasonably, they couldn't have missed us. This tank running, I mean, come on.
Yep. Stealthing in a tank, it's tough. It's very tough.
Yes, you good girl.
Well, once we get the Gatling gun
Thank you.
going, then that'll avoid any confusion.
Thank you. Anna says hi.
And
there's a ton, it's so nice out there. Just a ton of kids outside right now. So
nice.
Yeah, it's great for them. Just that she's going to keep yelling all day. She does not get tired, as regular viewers will know. All right, so then it is. Let's see. So they have effectively got to where Sergeant Bartley is. We'll use the same we did before, where it's going to take 2 rounds to get there, but athletics will speed things up if you choose to make the athletics check. But Bartley, you are there. They're kind of like running up to the ruined train car where you are. You know, let's say 1 away. It'll be 1 athletics check away. That sounds more fun. Private Wrathbone.
They're 1 from us.
What at you? You're sort of in there because you stayed looking at getting your thing set up, didn't you? Or you went looking for food, right?
I guess I did. Yeah. After I got the tank ready, I went looking for food. Right. Yeah.
So you threw open the car. You're like food, and then you hear it's all these things are running towards you. Okay, Wrathbone, what are you doing?
So can I see those pack?
And you can identify precisely where they are. And that's a good question. Do you have line of sight to them? Ooh. Let's do this. It'll be, if you just want to get to the same vantage like you did last time, let's say it's 1 athletics check to clamber up to on the ruins to get to a good enough angle to get to them.
Yeah. And this is a multi-action, so -2 or?
If you want to shoot this round, then yes, it's a -2.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So that's this.
There you go. Come on, big money. There you go. You are up, and you can see the 3 of them are going in, and
Okay. So let's just shoot one for good measure. That's always good. So -2. Oh,
Okay.
well. I will use a Benny.
Okay.
Come on. Yeah, that should hit, maybe.
yes, that is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. I'm just trying to stats for this. Why are you making all that noise for?
29.
Holy
Nice.
smokes! What's that shot? So that will drop this thing. What does that look like?
Yeah, I think I'm into headshots. That is maybe the good thing.
So a shot
to make sure.
What you see is this thing spins to the side, hits the ground, but you can see that it is twitching
Yeah.
as his body is beginning to be stitched back together. It is currently. Give us an occult check, please, for free.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess I know what's coming, but
Come on.
I missed my silver bullets.
Yeah. Oof.
No. Yeah.
So what you know enough is this is just not working. I'm not sure how common it is. Maybe it could be very common that obviously silver bullets is what work, but maybe you're just not in the panic of the moment. You're not putting 2 and 2 together. All right, Lieutenant Kemper, what are you doing?
Now, so I'm just trying to place myself. Where am I versus?
You're about, so right now it would be 1 action away from getting there, to getting back to where everyone, or one action to get away. If you're going to try and reach there this round, you need to make an athletics check to either like run fast enough or clamber over gear. If you have suggestions for how that might speed things
I'll
up.
run back towards the tank, I guess.
Towards where the tank is, okay?
Oh no, okay. I'll go with the rest. I'll head towards the action. Let's.
Okay. So if you want to also take an action this round, it'll be athletics at -2. If you don't care, then it's just athletics.
I'll take athletics at -2 then.
Right.
Okay, -2.
Yes, you were there.
And then I will take a shot with my pistol for what it's worth.
Okay.
Again, that's -2.
So your to give you context for how your powers work, your blast or bolt power rather is likely to be more effective because it is you use your spell casting instead of the other, and you can also juice it up. You could spend extra power points to, like, you can see one of the modifiers is if you put
so I'll
2
do
extra.
+2 then, so it takes me 3 then to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, let's give it a go.
And because you got your.
It might be permanent also.
Yeah, because it's magic. Holy. So that's a success with a raise. Go ahead and roll damage, and then you're going to roll an extra D6 exclamation mark for damage as well.
Damage.
So that's 18.
Okay, so that's 2. So, so I need to
roll 1D. So we'll add the raise into that. Yeah, we need
so
one
that's
more.
only rolled 1d6, so I need to plus 3d.
No. Oh,
Six,
just hold on. Let's listen for a sec. So you're going to get your raise from the bonus dimes, right? Mm-hmm. And then you're missing 1 extra dice in that right now. So roll 1d6 exclamation mark. And then we'll add all of that together, because that includes your damage from the raise, the juiced up power, and also that costs you 1 power point less.
Nice.
Because of the raise. So let's hear it. 1d6 exclamation mark. Come on, explode.
No.
Oop, 2, okay.
It's the first. Oh, right, yeah.
Okay. 18, yeah.
Okay, so that's 18 total. So this thing, where is it here? Werewolf. What does it look like as your firebolt takes this thing down?
Yeah, so it screeches from my hands and then hits it and envelops him. It just sort of, he goes up as if he was covered in gasoline.
Nice. All right, so Bartley, you see these things arrive. One of them shot down, but it does seem to be twitching and getting back up again. The other one is an inferno now. And if you thought wet dog smells bad, burning werewolf, so much worse. Sergeant Bartley, you're up next. What are you doing?
Do I need? So I was looking for food, I think. Right?
Yes.
Do I need to do I need to roll athletics to get there? What do you think?
No, you're here. They found you.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
All right. I am. What are my chances of casting burst on the two of them?
They're close enough. Yeah, I think they're close enough
Okay.
because your burst affects a cone, which is usually like 2 targets.
Yeah.
So yeah, and at worst you could race forward and then unleash your the dynamo.
I'm doing it.
Here we go. I know it's pronounced
just click
dynamo
on-
in English. I just like saying dynamo.
Just click on the spell.
Yes, click on the spell and it'll make your weird science roll for you and should roll damage as well,
Yes.
or at least prompt you for it.
Oof.
It's a 1 and you want to hear Benny that?
Yes. Hang on. There we go. All right.
Okay.
There we go.
Come on.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes. What does it look like as you discharge your dynamo discharge?
Does this? I know you had. What were your thoughts? Was it a box?
I think it's like, you know, that backpack he's got. I think it's like he puts it into overload, so it sort of, you know, fills up an area with this the discharge of his generator.
Yeah, maybe it's got an antenna. You know. And,
Sure,
and
yeah.
And so maybe it statics out.
All right.
Yeah.
Fills the area. Go ahead and roll damage. Let's see how badly. And you got a raise on it.
Nice.
So we'll add. Oh yeah, and you likewise could have added +2 to juice up the damage on it.
Next time.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Holy smokes! So that's 16 damage. Yeah. So
Now, does that include the raise?
that does include the raise because I'm adding the bonus damage.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. Yeah. So 16 total. What does it look like as you just scour, like, leave these things a scorched husk?
Yeah, it just, you know, it covers them in the white static electricity, you know, and they're like, you know, shaking, and then yeah.
Awesome. All right. So you did find food. All right. So then we are on to the next round here. Lieutenant Kemper, Sergeant Bartley, another hearts. Isn't this the same thing you guys got like last time? Oh, everyone gets a Benny as well. Anyone wish to do anything different? You're at your food right now, so you can start collecting the food this round, Sergeant Bartley, if you choose.
Yes, I'm going to do that.
Okay, so no one else is spending any bennies to get new cards?
No, we're just waiting what the pictures will mean. So.
Oh, yes, of course. There's 2 things. Right. I think so. Ace, we did before. That's grenades. So your grenades dice, you can jack it by 1 if you want to collect it. And the king, it's got to be a different weapon, right? Let's see what other bizarre gear, because hearts are fuel and spare parts. Let's see here. I'm in the wrong book. That's the right book. Flamethrower. That fills a large burst area, but on a critical failure, it explodes.
Like, yeah, I can't worry about that. Forward, move on. Forward.
All right, so Sergeant Bartley finds the fire flamethrower, and a little glint goes to his eye. All right, so then starting at the top, Private Wrathbone, what do you wish to do? Do you want to collect the grenades?
Yeah, collect the grenades and then move on. I think we were here long enough.
Sergeant Bartley, do you want to collect the flamethrower, or you want to try and get more ammo? Or look for
And
something
do I
else.
have to?
Or you
what
get your
about the
food,
food?
yeah. So
Right.
in the food, your choice is trying to increase your food dice or collect the flamethrower.
I mean, really, the need. I mean, given that we're going to be leaving in the tank, and the Gatling gun and all, I really think we need the food. But
When
that
has
flame-
ever, having something extremely flammable inside a tank ever gone wrong?
I mean, that's not even going to occur to the sergeant. We got to have all that stuff. But he takes the food. His
Okay.
duty first.
So I think
But
it's-
he does call out, Lieutenant, flamethrower, and then he collects the food.
Okay. So give us a notice check, please. See how much you can get that dice up by. Come on, that one's got to be better.
Negative.
Benny, that?
Sure.
Okay.
Here we go.
There you go. All right, so then you're going to raise your food dice by 2 steps. So I think you're up to an 8, a D8 in food.
Nice. That's more respectable.
Excellent. And then Lieutenant Kemper, you want to try and collect more fuel and spare parts? Do you wish to collect that flamethrower that Sergeant Bartley has pointed out, or do you want to try and look for something else?
I'm enjoying the flame. Let's get the flamethrower.
Thanks. All right, so you have a flamethrower in your crew as well. Now, when I roll for my encounter, are you guys all heading back to the tank to load all this shit up?
Yeah.
Okay. Just in time as you were coming back, we have... Let's make it interesting. You know what? Do I have... Here we go. I need to put a little sticky for myself to remind myself when the quit time is, because I keep doing the math over and over again in my head. I'm like, is it? I think we took our...
Yeah.
I thought we took our mid-session break late, but because of the half-hour start, I think we actually took it on time.
Huh?
That is great. It's more time to try and blow shit up. There we go. All right. Get you back here. Slap down a map. Let's make it interesting. This is something I also think is cool about what is advertised as something cool about Savage Worlds, James, is that you can put just a ton of minions down on the table and still have the game run pretty quickly.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we'll see if that plays out. I mean, because that's notorious with our games, right? Things play quickly. All right, here we go. Marketplace purchases, snow. I don't think I have a rail line in snow, but I knew I've got a map of in the snow. We'll just use that and pretend there's a train there. Actually, I think I've got a train thing anyway. Where are you? Where are you, snow? Winter, here we go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what? Sorry, I just had... I'm having a conversation with myself here. I was like, oh, it's not the appropriate map for it because there's hills in it, but I already described it as having... You guys are on the other side of a valley, so I don't need to fit a rail line in here. You guys were blown up and gone down into here, so look at that. That means this will work just fine. The map layer. Let's put down good old Bartley's baby here. Okay. That probably takes up that much space. I'm just going to put a marker down just to kind of not mark the exact space for it, but the rough area for the for where the wreckage of the train is right now. And I think I can see here. Yeah, that'll do. And then I gotta grab your tokens here. Okay. Now, each square will be 2... Is it yards or meters that Savage Worlds tracks?
I would have said yards, but
Yeah, it's an American game, so I think most often it's...
Actually, doesn't it track inches, and you're supposed to say what an inch is?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. It does track inches. You know what? I'll just put it in inches then. That's actually easier, because everything is in that range anyway. All right. So the... Perfect. Here we go. And let's get the adversaries in here too. Because what's a game without a bunch of guys to blow up, hey?
Indeed.
Okay, here we go. All right. And let's put this down here. For those listening, apologies for setting this up. We only shortly before decided we were going to play this game. And I actually thought beforehand too, because of the, like, you got to respond to the dice rolls and stuff like that. It's not the kind of game where you can necessarily prep everything and be ready to go, because shit will come up on a come up differently as you play through. That's my excuse, at least. Whether you buy it, I'll leave it up to you. Okay.
It's very suspenseful now.
Yeah, the more time I'm spending, how much shit is he putting on this fucking screen here? What is going on? Okay. All right. Let's put them down here. Alrighty, guys. Let's go to the fun tableau here. All right. Now. Oops. Okay, here we go. Let me bring you over to the map, and we'll talk about what's going on here. Okay. So, it's not the prettiest map we've ever used, but I think it'll get the job done. Here we go. You guys are up here. Let me shift ping for you. The area that's underneath where that picture of the ruined train is, that stuff is, you can pass through it, but it's difficult. It's effectively difficult terrain. There are edges that allow you to move across them faster, but I don't think any of you guys have that. You can move through there at half your speed, but you can also take advantage of cover if you're in there. What is coming around? You can hear there are more of those packmasters and general soldiers over there. You can assume that the trees here covered in snow are all low bushes, which will give you partial cover. You can also hear howls of more of those werewolves coming in. And then you actually notice it, Wrathbone. Up on the edge there.
Yeah.
The Iron Acolyte stands. So, let's get things rolling here. So first up, we've got Lieutenant Lillian. You are getting a 7. Let me move in a bit here. I'll try and put them kind of near your tokens. For those listening at home too, I'm aware that you can put them into the initiative tracker too. I like the tactile part of drawing the cards better. So I do appreciate that you can do that. I just like this better. Okay, Queen for Sergeant Bartlett, and for Private Wrathbone, a 6. The villains, so all the troops have a 5, and the Iron Acolyte has a 9. So currently we have Sergeant Bartley going first, then the Iron Acolyte, then our rest of our heroes, then the troops. Anyone want to spend bennies to get a new card? No? Here's how running works in this, James. You got a little run button on there. You have your pace, and then there's a D6. If you want to run, you have to kind of roll and see how much space you can cover. That'll tell you how many squares you can cover in this round. So, if no one else is doing anything, then Sergeant Bartley, you're up first. What are you doing?
So, to talk about the tank a little, so we can scramble into the tank. That's an option.
You can get in the tank. It'll take you an action to get into the driver's seat of the tank, and then the tank will have a movement of. I'll tell you. Happen to have steampunk tank rules. All right. Anyone inside the tank is going to be enjoying a defense of 18, a toughness of 18, as opposed to whatever your thing is. The let's see here, and a speed per turn. Let's see here. Okay, once you get into the tank, the pace will be effectively, it'll have a pace of, let's see here, 30 once you get inside.
And it is,
oh, and there's a cannon on it, and it has heavy, also, in addition to being toughness. Sorry, Sean, I don't mean to talk over you, so I want to say before I forget. It's got heavy weapon, or heavy armor, which means that unless you're using a heavy weapon, you cannot damage the tank.
And how about that Gatling gun? Did that ever...
Gatling gun is mounted. You guys have got that. That would have... I can actually drag and drop it to the character sheet for whoever wants to man that. You'll be using your shooting to attack with that, and then we'll just treat... Where is it here?
I'm thinking I'd be shouting to the Lance Corporal, to the Gatling guns.
There is also a cannon in here. The equivalent of a 37 millimeter cannon.
And that's more for the iron person over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Use the tank cannon on him.
I mean, what skill would be the cannon, would you say?
Shooting
Is that
as well.
Shooting.
Savage Worlds is you know what, just it's Savage Worlds tries to capture the feel of fiction more so than trying to capture like the granular, reality of stuff. So there's no gunnery skill or whatnot. Shooting is what you use for it.
I'm guessing, so the sergeant's in the spur of the moment is going to guess that he's got the best driving.
Yeah.
It's more likely that I have the best driving and only moderately more likely that I have the best shooting. So he's going to jump into the driver's seat.
Well, you got to move yourself. So you see where you are? You see where the tank is. You'll actually need to make your way into the tank first.
Gotcha.
Okay,
gotcha.
So, and again, if you want to run, you can still take an action when you run. It just means -2 to your actions.
Yep. Let's see here. He is going to yell, "I need someone on that Gatling gun," as he runs for the tank.
Okay. And remember to count, if you're moving through the wreckage of the train, you do get the benefit of cover for things attacking you, but you will be moving at half speed for every square that you're on there. So if you're going to run, go ahead and click on run. Let's see how many squares you can move.
Running. Here we go.
10 inches, 10 squares.
That looks pretty good.
Diagonals count as single things, so can you get there without going through the... Actually, is it here? Bartley, if you run right through the wreckage, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and you're in there. You actually have enough space to run right into the tank.
Absolutely.
Nice.
If Bartley can get into the tank, he's going in the tank.
Now, you don't have the ability for it, but I think what we'll let... So you got something to do is you will be able to spend bennies and soak using your driving.
Okay.
Okay, that's normally, I think it's ace is the edge that you need for that, but that sounds like a fun thing to do, so you're not just watching everyone else shoot shit.
Yeah.
All right, so you go racing over and jump in there. All right, so you'll need one round to get this thing up and running, but you are otherwise good to go. All right, next up.
And it seems appropriate that the tanker gets in the tank. Like that happened. You know, he knows when if you're going to give him a running tank, he's getting in the tank.
Nice. All right, then it is the Iron Acolyte's turn. All right. He is turning towards you, and he's going to work some sorcery, I think. Because he likes sorcery. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. You know what he's going to do? What's the range here? Yep. Okay. I think I might need to spam.
Can you hear the ambulance in the background? At my place?
No, we can't.
No, okay.
Is it portentous for what's about to happen?
I don't know.
All right. Hey. So you can see he begins chanting something, and there is like a wisps of red power that begin going up around him. And then he gestures towards the tank. And let's make a spellcasting roll for him first. Raise. That's good. All right. Okay. Sergeant Bartley, you get in there, and then what happens is, and Private Wrathbone and Lieutenant Kemper, you're sort of turning to maybe run after him. There are red tendrils coming up from the ground and wrapping onto the tank, and it begins moving onto the side. I need you to do a contested driving check, Sergeant Bartley, to avoid having it upended by this guy's magics.
All right.
I rolled an 8, so you need to beat my 8 with your driving.
Oh, so close.
You want to Benny that?
Sure. Let's see. Let's give it a run. My last Benny.
Come on.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, wait. Before you do, you have your conviction.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, let's
We're
do
into
it.
the last
Time.
half hour of the session.
It's time.
Okay.
I noticed that there's a conviction button. I tried to turn it on
conviction
there,
button, it's kind of, I don't know why it's on there. What it does is it just keeps rolling conviction on every roll.
Yeah.
So it's not like
turn it off, right?
You turn it off
afterwards.
You just roll 1d6 exclamation mark.
Oh, not driving again. Oh no, it does that.
Because
Gotcha.
you're adding, what you're doing with the conviction is you're going to roll 1d6 exclamation mark. We're adding that to your highest result.
Gotcha. 1d6 exclamation point.
Come on.
Okay, I think this should work. How do we do? Okay. 5.
12. You got a raise. Actually, I'm going to make him make a spirit check for feedback. So let's see here. No, he's shaken. So what you picture is this thing's beginning to like upend, and that's not what it's supposed to do. At least not when you're driving it. What do we see is you sort of get this thing into gear and tear yourself free of his telekinetic tendrils.
I mean, it's a tank, so it's got the engine goes, and so it just overpowers it, from weight and I grind it down, like I'm grinding down those tendrils, back and forth over it, letting it just
up in the gears.
Yeah, just letting it wear that weight.
So and he kind of screams and recoils back, which leaves Kemper. Your turn. What are you doing?
I will run towards the tank to get in as well. Let's get a run.
Run check here. 8 inches. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you would be just adjacent to it at that corner if you run through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and you couldn't even. So you're racing through the ruins. Do you have an action you want to take as well? Running only gives -2 to any actions. Like if you really want to give yourself cover, you could, in theory, cast whatever it is, distraction. No, deflection.
Deflection.
Yeah, because that would impose a penalty, a further penalty on attacks against you and Wrathbone.
Okay, I'll do that.
So I think it costs you 1 extra power point to target a second, to add additional target.
And that is a -2.
At -2, yeah, because you ran. You want to spend a penny?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's
Oh,
do
no,
that.
hold on. Remember to... Oh, you know what? Hold up. It's just because this thing fucking defaults to... Don't need to spend a penny, you need to re-roll. For whatever reason, the thing defaults to unskilled, which is always... When I drag it up, so I always forget to set the skill. Give me 2 seconds here. It should be using your spellcasting, not your unskilled. Come on. Loading. There we go.
If you could get rid of that strength thing as well, I can't actually.
Oh, yeah, so if you go into
this
the
page.
Hey, there's no one out there, Goober.
I don't think I can get to this page. I tried.
Can you not... Here, edit. Yeah, you should be able to edit. Well, in any event, the way you access it is click on the... Anna! That's enough. There's no one out there. You want to go find him? Go get him.
So, James, it is the red lock. There's a red lock in the top left corner. If you click it, then you can modify...
Absolutely nobody out there. Oh, she has my number, though. Because when Dad tries to lock you in the room, just keep barking in the room until he lets you out. There we go. Spellcasting. All right. Oh, and hold up.
I've fixed the strength now. So
Okay,
you have
perfect.
it on screen, so that's it done.
Okay, yep, everything is good to go. Close the gear. So give us a roll again. That was, sorry. Because that's not that, and it's a
let me go
-2 because
in
of the running. Come on. You want to Benny that?
Yep, so
Okay.
I re-rolled that.
Or conviction. You got conviction as well.
Maybe save that for...
Success! All right, what does your deflection power look like? Your spell?
that does... So -2 from melee or ranged.
Yeah, so it's sort of like it's...
And that cost me 4.
Yes. What do you think that looks like as it manifests on you and Private Wrathbone?
Well, yeah, a variation on the previous one. So there's a whole shimmer around us as we across this area as we run.
Nice.
So blurred and hard for anyone to see us.
Awesome. Okay. Then go ahead and move yourself next to the tank. And then it is Private Wrathbone's turn.
So, can I see this iron acolyte from where I stand?
Definitely, because he's sort of up on an angle.
So, I would think that since this is the one I suppose is responsible for the killing, and we are all outmatched anyways.
Yep.
I have one clear shot at that person. I would take it.
Nice. Go right ahead. He is vulnerable, so you get +2.
I mean, come on.
Because of the Bartley causing trouble with his magics.
So and I could run after shooting if possible. I
Yes,
mean,
you can always move afterwards. You'll take -2 to your shot then.
Yeah. Okay. So then I would take that -2.
Okay.
Come on, that's no problem. So okay. So let's hope
There we go.
for something. That was really bad.
You want to Benny that? Or conviction?
I penny off. There you go.
Maybe both actually. Oh come on! Let's do this. Is the heroic shit? So use the Benny because
To
it
reroll?
makes me very. Oh yeah, I could just reroll.
Yeah, click on reroll. Oh, maybe you're using you're rolling shooting again. Make sure you're using your weapon.
Oh yeah. That is true. That is even not that great.
Yeah.
And I missed the +2 I get from. So I always rolled with -2. So 4 would not be good enough. But I can.
Sir, what you missed? What will be the +2 from?
From him
from vulnerable. Yes, yeah.
Yes.
So that's actually a hit right now, just not a raise. You could spend conviction and fish for that extra 4 points.
Yes. Come on.
So roll 1d6 exclamation mark. Come on. No. Now. You're out of bennies. Shit. So that is a hit, though. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah.
Come on.
And now let's hope for some damage.
Let's see that green.
18.
Beautiful. I gotta spend a Benny to try and soak some of this. So that is. Hold on. Let me see here. That is. So you know what's going on. 1, 2, 3. That is 3 wounds. He's currently looking to soak. He is a wild card.
Crack shot with this rifle.
Yeah. Fuck. I rolled 2 1s with this. So he's he's hit in the head, and you just see him. You see a puff of snow from where he drops behind. Go ahead and roll your run. So
there is a run skill somewhere.
We never knew.
Not skill, not near the top. There's a
Basil's paths that he's a.
It doesn't look like a
rifle
hyperlink.
Shot. He's always using that little pistol, whereas you should be using a rifle in Paridan.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
So it's near the top. It's you have to hover over it to see that it actually is a link. It says like running or run. It doesn't look like a button.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Okay. 8 inches. It'll be 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're gonna be right next to Lieutenant Kemper.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. Now let's check and see how fast these wolves are. Can they get you guys before you get inside the tank? That's a good question. All right, so the wolves, I believe, have a pace of 8 and a D6 on a run.
I can't believe the GM's constantly misranking me.
Lieutenant. Unbelievable. All right, so they have 8. Yes, okay, so let's see here. The wolves are going to be, only 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so they're racing up on you. Werewolves, same thing. Let's see. Can they? Oh, I got wolves in the bottom, guys. 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, they're getting in closer. The werewolves. 12 they can move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. Whew. There we go. Oh, did I give you a Benny for 2 o'clock?
I'm sure you did not.
Did ever gets a Benny? Okay. So we've got, I'm going to roll just as a group for these guys with wild dice. All right, so between all things in, let's see here. For Wrathbone, I got -4 for cover. So I need an 8 to hit you from these guys, unless the distance is, let's see here, more. Nah. Okay, so here we go. Rifles from the top there. All of them miss. From the top of the ledge. Likewise. Against Kemper. Oh, they actually have to get an angle. Oh, you know what? With these guys, they're going to get their anti-tank weapons ready. These guys will advance. 6. And fire as well on the tank. Very quickly learning that they cannot damage that tank. And I've got one more group of guys. Let's see here. Yeah, they'll call in. They'll ready rifle grenades, I think. And then that is it for the bad guys. All right. We are on round 2. Lieutenant Lillian. That's what you're getting. 10. Bartlett. Whoa. A king. And Wrathbone. A king as well. Villains. A queen. Ooh. All right, which means, oh boy, currently they are acting before Lieutenant Kemper, which means those wolves may get in on you before you can get inside the tank. You want to spend a Benny and get a new card?
Yeah, better.
Okay, here we go for Kemper.
Oh.
You take the better of the two, so it is only a 10. So you guys would know this is the case. Maybe. Oh, you know what? There was additional -2 because of the deflection. I'd needed to roll a 10 to hit you. Okay, so you could spend another Benny and take another card if you like. Or you want to?
The chance is so low. Yeah, it's such a low chance.
It's also getting closer
well,
to
I'll
those
do it, but it's yeah. Okay, we'll try again.
Try again. Here we go. Let's see.
Oof.
And now I'm nearly out of bennies too.
Yeah. This is
that GM
this
evil
is showing as an
just...
abject lesson for what I've done in the games. Like I was like, why do I never have fucking bennies in the games? Because I would be chasing better initiative cards early on in a session, and I'd never have any bennies to use for my villains later on. All right. Well, hopefully, I'll actually let Bartley. Sergeant, you could make a drive check, and if you get a raise on it, you've not only got it started, you've got it. You can actually take an action. You may be able to move this fucking tank in the way to try and protect Lieutenant.
I've driven over the top of Lieutenant to protect her by being on top.
You're fine now. All right. So then, unless anyone is spending
those wolves will never get to you now.
Let me get rid of that. Also, I think the tank or the train picture has served its purpose, but it's just busy right now. All right, then. First up is in reverse order Spades, which would be Sharpshooter Private Wrathbone. What are you doing?
I think I have to get on the tank and use this Gatling gun to make a little bit of space.
All right, so if you want to take a multi-action penalty, you can get on there. Let me do this here. Private Wrathbone. Let me quickly drop a Gatling gun onto your thing here. There is something I really like about these sheets too, is you can set it up so that it gives you the your choice of rate of fire, which is really cool. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, let's see here. I've bitched previously about it not doing that, and it's because I did not know how to do it. Okay, let's see here. We'll use this as the weapon. Is that right? Yeah. There we go. Come on, populate. There we go. Oh, and it's automatically set up. Fuck yeah, with the right stuff. You are good to go on that Gatling gun. So here's what's going to happen, though. Is if you choose to fire with more than one, you will take another -2. You just select, so it'll be -4 total, but you can use up to a rate of fire of, I believe, 3 with the Gatling gun.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know whom to attack, actually, but I would just...
You think the werewolves, the small wolves? What are you thinking?
I think maybe the werewolves, they are maybe the most dangerous creatures, and they, so in a way, and
go ahead.
Yeah.
So, and I'll let you enter whatever rate of fire you want, and then -4, only because you scrambled to get in there as well too.
So I get -4, and then number of skill dice is 3. That's correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So let's hope
the best 3, including your wild dice. Nice. So some of those are big misses, but that one of those is hit with a raise. Go ahead and roll damage. So 14. So you're just firing into them. It's you're trying to, you did snap fire with this, but one of them squarely hits one of the werewolves, knocks to the side, knocks around, and then hits down. It looks like it's going to be pulling itself back together, but there's a lot of pulling back together that has to happen here because you have blown a giant hole in it. Next up, Sergeant Bartley, what are you doing?
Yeah, I will try to. It's just the only one not in the tank right now. He's not saying that, but he's thinking it. Let's help that young lieutenant try to get in. Try to do what we can here.
Okay. So go ahead and give us a driving check. I'm not applying the handling penalty for this one. Oh, come on. 4. That's a success, not a raise. You want to try and Benny that?
I guess
do you have your conviction still, or is your conviction?
I do not.
Hey. Okay.
I am. A sergeant's work is never done. I will spend the Benny.
Okay.
Here we go. There we go.
Nice. All right. Where would you like to? You have control over the tank token now. Position yourself where you like. It's got a movement of what do we say? 30 squares.
Interesting. Let's see. Can I tell? Well, I guess I does it. Can I tell what she's most afraid? What she's trying to avoid?
There's currently, a bunch of werewolves and a bunch of wolves that are kind of racing in on her.
Yeah, I guess the werewolves. I'll try to impose herself and give her, as long as she's close and I won't be using high speed, so I might even give her a little nudge with the bumper, like, could you get on here or what? Like, that kind of like, oh.
I think I jogged her too hard.
And it's the kind of thing I can deny. Oh, Lieutenant, I beg your pardon. I mean, my bad,
All right. So then you roll this thing, roars forward. Private Wrathbone, you could have rock back and forth in the gunner's seat. And Lieutenant Kemper, this thing is in the way. I'm not going to let anybody shoot you this round, but I will have these wolves go in. So on their turn. In which case, go ahead and give us your first strike. So go ahead and whack him with your, what do you call it? Your saber. That's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Come on. Yep, that's 1. Down. So it's only 3 getting in on you. I'm making a spirit check for those werewolves because they fail. Okay, so the 2 surviving ones turn and are racing for cover over here. No one else has an angle on you. I do have a shot. So there's 3 wolves that are attacking Lieutenant Kemper. Your parry. Oh, you know what? And there's a thing called a gang up bonus. Each additional opponent gets an additional +1 to hit you. Your parry's a 5 or a 6?
6.
6, okay. I miss with a first. Miss with a second. Miss with a third.
Wow.
You keep them
that was lucky.
Yeah. I rolled a 1, and a 2 for my attack, so not great.
Nice.
All right, I'm going to try and hit the tank, though. Okay. Okay, so I tried to hit the tank and ended up blowing up that werewolf again. So that werewolf is not regenerating this round. So I rolled like 1 nat 1, fair enough. 2 nat 1s in a row with the grenades. That suggests someone's getting injured. Then it is Lieutenant Lillian's turn. What are you doing?
I will get in the tank.
So if you're going to get in the tank, we will leave you open to free strikes from these things. There is a concept of the attack of opportunity, but you could take defend, which gives you +4 to your defenses, and then
I'll
move
do
in.
that then. Yep.
Okay. So
Let's
I currently
do
have
that.
a parry of 10. Okay. Oh, one of them comes close. What do you say as he's snapping wolves at you as you jump inside this tank?
I say, get back, you scum! As my cloak gets ripped from my shoulders.
Yeah. Jeez. You guys are in the tank now. And we're in the last 10 minutes of the session. Everyone gets a penny. Let's draw some cards here, see what happens next. All right, I'm just going to put them underneath your displays here. So I got Lieutenant Lillian. You got a Jack, Sergeant, Woohoo! A 7, Private Wrathbone, a 2. I'm ignoring your field promotion, sorry. And then the bad guys, a Jack. Anyone spending bennies to get a new card? I'll spend one to see if I can fish for that Joker.
I got a face card, I'm happy.
2.
Yeah, I think I would just spend a penny. I got one, so...
Yeah, you got one. There you go, a 9.
Yeah,
Sergeant?
that's okay.
I'll stick. I'll stand.
All right. So then first up, let's see, reverse alphabetical is Lieutenant. You're up first. What are you doing?
I guess I will get to the gun.
Okay, let me get the gun set up quickly here for you. It's a 38 millimeter cannon. Okay.
And I think the sergeant, seeing that out of the corner of his eye, is bellowing out some, like, oh, that's a lot of power there, Lieutenant, but don't be nervous. Like trying to, some ridiculous nonsense of.
And he's got his tanker's goggles on now.
Right. Oh, definitely.
This is a running theme with all of your characters, Sean.
Right.
Again, he's got a leather coat, goggles, and no doubt a flat cap as well.
Yep.
Are you green?
Maybe.
Let's see here. Okay, I think this is, I said 30. There we go. See if that populates properly. It should. Let's see. Come on, you little horse. Let me try this. Ugh. Okay, let's do this. This will be fun for you to roll, I think. Where are you? Okay. Here we are. 30 millimeter cannon. Add that in. Call it a tank gun. Range. Oops, 100, 200. Attack and damage. Skill is shooting. Shooting. And damage. None of that. And this counts as a heavy weapon as well, which means that it could damage a tank comparable to what you've got. It's sort of that, like, you need to have that quality in order to actually activate or actually affect anything.
Cool.
Okay, and... Oh, that's actually more than that. Go. P3. You also can affect an entire medium burst template if you're using the high explosive rounds. So 1 damage is for the anti-personnel or the armor piercing, and the other is for use a D6, 4d6 for everything in a medium burst template. Meaning, pick 3 targets that are clustered together, and you can affect them. I think your tank gun's ready to roll. So.
Okay, cool.
What do you want to target? You want to do area effect, or you want to target one thing?
What about, can I get these? Maybe I should try and kill this werewolf.
Sure, the one on the ground? Sure. You could affect both of the other 2 werewolves.
Okay, let me do that then.
Okay.
Why not? Let's be greedy.
Okay. I'm going to make an evasion 2 at once. Here we go. Go ahead and roll your attack. No modifiers. That is a hit with a raise. You well placed it. Go ahead and roll damage. We'll use this as damage.
Whew.
14.
Not bad. Oh, it's not that great, but yeah.
Do you have a Benny left? You could reroll.
It should be 4d6, shouldn't it?
Yeah, we're in the last 5 minutes of the game. You can spend a Benny and re-roll damage if you like. Try and fish for
let's do that.
At least one success or one exploding dice. Okay. All right, so there's a huge smoking crater where they used to be. Then it is, let's see here. Oh, the enemy's turn. All right, so they are all falling back at this point. Some of them are going to fire their anti-tank or armor-piercing grenades. Twink, twink, twink. One of them actually managed to hit. Ooh. All right, so they are armor-piercing, which means so your tank has 18 toughness, but 8 of that comes from your armor. And the armor-piercing grenades have AP... an AP 4. So this is going against a toughness of 26. There we go. Exclamation mark. This is going against a toughness of 16...
12?
18, 4, 14. 14. Yeah, so this will be against 14. So as a hit, it means it's only shaken. That means the whole tank will be down. What you can do is you can't soak. Vehicles can't soak, but you could spend a Benny, make a driving check, Sergeant, and try and soak that so that the tank isn't shaken next turn.
I do that now?
You do that now as a free action, yeah, if you want. If you want to. You don't have to spend the Benny to do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Driving test, right?
Yes, please.
All right.
Come on, you see that 4. Oh, you're out of bennies.
I'm out of bennies.
All right, so because a vehicle, I think you might need to make a out of control check. Right, if I remember. I rarely use vehicles in the game, not because they're not cool, but just because I usually just don't have them in the game. Which is to say, I need to quickly. Here we go. Okay, so you need to give us a... you need a drive check now. So you did not. So this is another free action. This is just to keep control of the vehicle.
Okay.
Make sure you don't drive into any of the wreckage of the train or anything like that. Ooh. Come on, Benton. Close. Yes, you got control over it. All right. Nice. Then it is. That's it for the bad guys. So really, it comes down to Wrathbone. You're up next. What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe these wolves are no real match for us, but someone had anti-tank weapons, and we should get rid of those.
That's the guys up on the ledge.
Yeah, and maybe, I mean, those are not too far from a Gatling gun.
Short range for the Gatling gun. Do you want to unload? It's only a -2 now.
Yeah, come on. I mean, I think I owe it to them to just try. So -2.
Come on.
Ooh, this is...
Benny that?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
This is very... Yeah, it's just so... Yeah, I think the sergeant moved.
Yeah, Oh, geez, with this thing rolling around, you're firing your way up there. They're just, it's not connecting with anybody. And then it is Bartley's turn. Bartley, the tank can move at 30 squares around. Are you just rolling out of here, or what?
That is not a bad call. You know, it's not. Our task here is to survive and to regroup.
Okay.
Although we are in the tank,
And you can drive over these guys on the way out.
That's true. I mean, it's a temptation to give the lieutenant a couple of cannon rounds on those people on the ledge. Let's not kid ourselves. Yeah. Is there time for me to call out to the lieutenant and say, "Stay or go, Lieutenant"?
Yeah.
Run those vermin over, Sergeant. Take us out of here.
All right, so I'll head. If it doesn't matter, well, wherever. Let's see. I'll go northeast, unless I think that's crazy. For
yeah. I mean, you're trying to get away from here. What we would see is, as you guys are, I have one more screen to share with you, as you are rolling forward out onto the steps of the enemy's homeland. Zoom in a scooch here. Here we go. And that looks like nice, relaxing place to visit. Out onto the landscape, rolling away, and then slowly staggering to his feet with a broken mask is the Iron Acolyte. And he gets up, and they say to him in their, whatever their native tongue is, "Master, what do we do now?" And you can see where his mask is broken away. We can now see his face, and his eye narrows, and he says, "Give chase." And that is where we'll end our war story. So
nice.
Then it will bring us back to the main screen here. So for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for our war story. For our first war story, actually. This is our first one we run in the Spires of Paridar campaign. Why are you fading? Yeah, it's a very, very good question, Lieutenant Kemper.
Looks horrible.
As is always.
They can have it.
As these, but yours is what is the old saying in the Paridan army? Yours is not to question why.
Yours is but to do or die.
Yeah.
And die.
All right, then, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us. We will be back in the Spires of Paridar in 2 weeks' time, likely to conclude the Patchwork Pauper campaign. But this has been an interesting diversion to see what Private Wrathbone's experience was like during the war. That's where will we see Sergeant Bartley and Lieutenant Kemper again, or any of these other? He has yet to apparently meet the Hannibal, because you guys were fast companions during the war. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, and we have channels there dedicated to Savage Worlds, to the Spires of Paridar campaign in general. As well as most other games we run on the channel. I'll post the I do have, the character sheets written up for these characters in Savage Worlds format. I'll post that to both the Spires of Paridar campaign board and the Savage Worlds board, for those who might be interested in seeing what these War Stories version of the characters look like. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have an amazing selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs, they also have an unmatched selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games. They also have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs. If they do not have in their stock what you are looking for, you can often put it on a want list, and they will send you an email when it comes in, and then you can pick it up. And if you enter the code SPRINGMUSER at checkout, all one word, all in caps, you will save yourself 10% on your purchase. There is also and if you're listening to this at another time, if after July 1st, 2023, you want to make use of a discount code, just go ahead and find one of the more recent videos and find out what the most recent discount code is. There's also a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, really amazing organization active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children, including ongoing relief efforts in Ukraine and the surrounding countries at the time of recording. There is also for one thing, all donations that go through that link go directly to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to the channel or any other middleman. Just goes to help out the kids who benefit from the services of SOS Children's Villages International. And as a small way of saying thank you, we have, two ways of saying thank you. One, if you donate $10 or more through that website and have done so since January 1st, 2023, head on over to the Dungeon Musings Discord server's Charity Initiatives channel, and you'll find all the information you need in order to vote on our next charity session, which will be in May of 2023. You also, if you donate $25 or more Canadian, then you get one chance to win the grand prize or one of the other great prizes in our next charity raffle. Grand prize is a copy of, grand prize will be, actually I don't know what it'll be yet, but I know what some of the prizes include 2 copies of the Degenesis Rebirth Edition RPG. That's out of print currently. I picked up 2 of those at the end when it went out of print to use as prizes. We have a chainmail dice bag made by our resident armorsmith Dave. That's just beautiful. There is a chance to play with us in the game. So there's lots of opportunity, lots of cool prizes. Some stuff from the Dungeon Musings Red Bubble Shop as well. Lots of great prizes, lots of great opportunities to win some cool stuff. Also to vote on our year-long charity campaign, and an opportunity to help some kids who could really use some help. The last thing I want to say is an enormous thank you to our stalwart players from today, because we did not know, the guys did not know until 15 minutes before start time that I was planning on running a war story today. So James, Sean, and Ingolf, thank you so much for jumping in and giving such great life to these characters and surviving. Congratulations on getting your first tank in any of my campaigns. That's pretty good.
Pretty sweet, right?
Not bad. And I hope you enjoyed your first foray into Savage Worlds, James.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah. It's very light, but worked well. It's cool.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad to hear. Then, for those listening, and Ingolf, I hope you enjoyed being the first one to have a character have a war story for our campaign.
Yeah, that is really great. Yeah, we should do that more often. I can't wait to see what a certain orc witch was up to in his youth.
Yes. Let's see, what would be the appropriate game for what he went through? I think I've got Cult Divinity Lost still kicking around.
Yeah, right.
For those listening at home, we'll be back in Paridar in 2 weeks' time, but until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off of the troubles of our world and see that our troubles that our stalwart members of the Paridan army faced on the frontier fighting the enemy. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.